Oh, Eagles. Just way to go. Okay, last week we lose to the Cowboys, right? We gave up a 21-0 lead, but at least in that game, the offense did well in the first half, right? Now, here we are in the fourth quarter. We're down 24-9 to the Bears, and fans are making their way toward the exit stand. I got the game on live right now, watching this crap. There's 6:19 left in the fourth quarter. We're down 24-9. The Bears just scored another touchdown, mind you. And yeah, I get it. Fans are leaving, man. They're like, you know what? Let me go beat the traffic. This team's not even worth watching. This damn game ain't even worth watching. And that's where it's at right now. All right, losing to the Cowboys is one thing. Blowing a lead 21-0 is embarrassing. But at least with that game, you had some semblance of offense in the first half. But now in this game, it's a complete opposite. There's nothing going at all. This Eagles offense has absolutely nothing going at all in its favor. Pathetically predictable play calling, 3 and outs left and right. I mean, holy smokes, the play calling is so atrocious. And what do we got? Oh, we get 1 first down. Oh, but it still doesn't change the fact we're down 2 scores. And look, A.J. Brown just got a first down as I speak. That's nice, but how much more is this going to do? I mean, seriously, how much more are we going to get out of this? We got a first down, but that's it. All right, let's see. First up, pass to Devontae Smith. Short pass, wrapped up right away. Nothing, just a handful of yards. Grego, what is up? What is up? Yeah, this is awful. This is just absolutely awful. I mean, the play calling in this one, and you heard earlier, just about about 10 minutes, like 15 minutes ago, the fans were chanting fire Kevin and Saquon drops an open pass. There you go. Why not? At this point, I'm not even going to get mad. I'm just going to laugh at them. Because this game's a lost cause at this point. It is. I mean, technically 5:21, there's still enough time, but there's a shot of a fan wearing a Grinch mask at the game. Perfect. I wonder if that was improvised or not. I wonder if he had the Grinch mask. If he brought it in the stadium, he's like, you know what, I'm putting it on if we play awful today. Maybe that's the case, but holy smokes. I mean, and Greg is saying the Bears aren't that good. I mean, to be fair, the Bears, I mean, I do think they're a bit overrated, but they are 8-3. I mean, they're not terrible. They're 8-3 for a reason. Granted, they've had some games where they've had an easy schedule, but I mean, looking at this game, they've got 2 takeaways on us. They got a pick and they got a fumble on us. They beat the Steelers. Their defense has been coming away with picks. Bears are a respectable team. Now, if you say they're not an elite team, they're just a, playoff team, then I kind of get where you're coming from there. And they have had a softer schedule. They've kind of taken advantage of it, which I don't blame them for. But while we're still on that subject, I'll give the Chicago Bears credit. Because, look, they're actually doing something. They're actually out there. They actually played a decent game here. They actually figured out the Eagles' one-dimensional offense, and, they keep that momentum going. And I'll say this about the Eagles, man. Don't think a repeat of 2 years ago can't happen again. It can. It certainly can. They already lost last week, and now they're embarrassing performance against the Bears. And in this time around, they collapse, they're probably not even going to make the playoffs. And some of you thinking, there's no way that could happen. The Cowboys can't win the division. If you look closer at the Cowboys' remaining schedule, they could win out and possibly win the NFC East. That's not a far-fetched possibility, folks. The Cowboys-Lions next week, I would not be surprised if the Cowboys get that upset win next week, honestly. I mean, the Lions aren't as good as they once were, and they have a ton of injuries. We saw yesterday how battered they were injury-wise, particularly their secondary without Kirby Joseph. The point I'm getting at is The Lions aren't the same team they usually are. I could see the Cowboys getting a win there. I could see that. They got to play the Giants again. That can be a win too. Washington again. That's a possible win for the Cowboys. That's 3 wins right there, likely. And then you go to, they got the Vikings, I think. Oh, it's so that's a win. I mean, at this point, all the momentum's going in the Cowboys' favor, and they could steal the division at the end of the season. Obviously, I don't want them to. Obviously, as an Eagles fan, I want my team to win out the division, but realistically, I could see it happening. I could. And let's face it, yesterday, Dak had a good game against Kansas City. He had a few games where he was kind of having a bit of a rough stretch, particularly that Monday night game against the Cardinals, but it looks like the Cowboys put that behind them, and now they're actually winning games, so I got to at least give the Cowboys credit on that. Sure, they may not have the most talented team in the world, but hey, they're actually finding ways to win games when it matters most. I got to give them that. And when I say they're not the most talented team, I'm talking their defense. But they have gotten better in recent weeks. Granted, they played against the one-dimensional Eagles offense. Kansas City, that's not that great. So that does play a factor in it too. That's part of the reason why the Cowboys are on the winning streak they're on. But I can't take credit that away from them. Because if the Eagles drop this game, which they're probably going to, just a matter of time now, 3:20 left in the game, that means the Eagles are 8-4, Cowboys 6-5-1. That's only a 2-game difference, so don't be surprised. And the Eagles got to come back and play the Chargers. Oh, A.J. Brown got a first down. All right. First and goal, but this might be too little too late. And if the Eagles do end up scoring on this one, all right, maybe they get a touchdown. They're going to go for 2 if they get it. That's for sure. Oh, let's see. Yeah, he caught the pass. He caught it. It's all right. Since I started this rant, Eagles are actually starting to do something, but they still got to get the ball back, and they got to score. Well, first they got to score here just to get something first. It's not just a matter of, all right, so 24-9, A.J. Brown. All right, they got the touchdown. All right, now they got to go for 2. Try to make it a 7-point game. Then they got to get the ball back and score again. But we'll see what happens here. Do they try to go for an onside kick? Do they try to go for a stop? Do they get the 2-point conversion first of all? That's the key question right there. So, all right, A.J. Brown does get a touchdown. Okay. But you got to wonder, too, are the Bears starting to lose their grip a little bit? Are they taking it soft a little bit and the Eagles taking advantage of them? Because all game long, the Bears have been doing excellent against the Eagles. Minus that touchdown pass to the first touchdown pass to A.J. Brown. Bears defense was doing great until this, and they don't get the 2-point conversion. And what a terrible play call. See, this is why I'm not confident in this team. Let's take a look at this. All right, first, all right, they're showing the touchdown again. All right, nice little drive to get in downfield. I give them that. But then let's take a 2-point conversion. Hurts was getting pressured. He's forced to just throw the ball into nowhere, and he completely misses the mark. He misses Barkley like 10 yards to his left. And that's the other problem this whole game. The Bears, anytime they get pressure on Jalen Hurts, he can't make those throws under pressure. That's the biggest problem. And this offensive line without Lane Johnson is not the same. That's another point we got to bring up too. If you look at the way this Eagles offensive line's been going without Lane Johnson, it's not the same. You can clearly see they're blocking his shit. They're giving up pressures more easily. It happened last week. We saw the sack on 3rd and 2 late in the game. And now flash forward 1 week later, it's happening again. But this go around, with all the pressure the Bears are getting, Jalen Hurts is being forced to throw the ball, hurry up and get rid of it, and it's not working out at all. And that happened again on the 2-point conversion. He got pressured, made a throw to nowhere, and it was an incomplete pass. But we still got a little over 3 minutes left in this game, so all right, we'll see what happens. But either way, this has been an uninspiring performance all game. And we had two. Remember, it all started. First, it was the touchdown pass to make it 10-9. All right. We missed then. Jake Elliott whoops the extra point way to the left. But it's like, all right, we're within one. Then Jalen Hunt gets an interception. We're like, okay, wait a minute. There's some spark here. Maybe there's a chance. But then what happens? The Eagles start to move the ball downfield. They get into Bears territory. You're thinking, all right, they're going to go ahead. They might be about to prove me wrong and take the lead. And then what happens? Oh, wait, Saquon. Wait, no, it was Hurts fumbles the ball, that making his second turnover of the day. Bears recover. And since then, what have they done? They've marched downfield twice and scored 2 touchdowns since. Now, the Eagles just got their touchdown, but still, 3:10 left in the game. Long way to go. And the Eagles, all right. Are they going to do an once? Nah, looks like it's going to be a regular kick. So now they got to give the ball back to the Bears and try to stop them. What? After the Eagles just marched down the field, they're trying the onside kick, and it's not even going to work. Not even close to working. O'Dunes, they kicked it right to O'Dunes, excuse me, and he fell on it, makes the recovery for the Bears. And now the Bears get decent field position, and after the last drive, their offense, they might decide to take more of an attack approach and try to score more points and be like, Eagles almost got within 7. Let's score some more points and put it out of reach. And the Bears are probably going to do that, and they're a little bit past midfield as I speak. Oh my gosh. Eagles fire Kevin Patullo, the offensive coordinator. And it's crazy. There were fans actually chanting, fire Kevin, and here go the Bears. It's right up the middle for a few yards. Jordan Davis actually gets a tackle. All right, Jordan Davis has actually been solid. I'll give him that. Jordan Davis has been solid this game. He's actually making an effort to stop the run, but we got to remember, Jordan Davis is just one player. That's it. He can't do everything. He can't be the guy to stop the run every play. At some point in time, there's got to be more guys be able to stop up and stop his offense. It can't just be Jordan Davis as the run stopper all game long. Someone else has to step up. Now, Jordan Davis did a solid job. He stopped that to only a 3-yard gain. Okay. And he did have a nice stop a drive ago. So Jordan Davis has been pulling his weight. But again, he's one player. What about the rest of the defense? After all, one player can't do the work of 11 players on defense. It's just absolute. Eagles 2026 draft, defensive back, defensive end, guard, safety, and DB. Although I agree with getting a defensive back for the long term. We do need that. But we also need some help on the O-line too. Because let's face it, this offensive line isn't getting any younger. Lane Johnson, even if he does come back, he's not getting any younger. He's been there since 2013. He's got a major injury. And don't get me wrong, Lane Johnson has been a phenomenal offensive lineman, easily the best offensive lineman the Eagles have had on the entire lines in the 21st century. But at the same time, you can't rely on him forever. At some point, somebody else has to step up. And that's been the key factor. This offensive line ain't the same. So with that being said, the point is, to Lil G Griffith's comment, we do need some help on the O-line too. Secondary, completely agree. But to be fair, the defense, even today's performance, I'm not going to fully blame on the defense. Because it's part the offense's fault. Yeah, Caleb's taking off. He's got a first down. And the Bears are just going to run out the clock now. But I can't fully blame it just on the defense. Because, yeah, they've given up 24 points. They might give up more before it's over. But part of the reason why this is happening is because their offense can't get anything going at all. They run one-dimensional offense. So that one-dimensional offense the Eagles consistently run is burning their defense out, and it's burning their defense out because the defense is putting so much pressure on them to pick up the offensive slack that eventually it wears them out, and once they get burnt out, there's not much else they can do to help. So at some point I can't fully blame it on the defense, even though they've given up 24 points, possibly more to come. I do at some point have to also look at the offense too, because it's a product. The defense's poor performance is a product of horrible offensive play call. 3 and outs. And what, in the first half, what did we have? The second quarter was like numerous straight 3 and outs. I mean, Jesus Christ. At some point in time, this offense has to do something else. You can't just rely on talent alone to get the job done for you. You have to make some adjustments. Do some RPOs. Pitch to the outside. Use Jahan Dotson for a few plays. Try to catch the defense off guard. I mean, all of these ideas could help. Maybe try using Tank Bigsby a little bit. Didn't you trade for him after week 1? Didn't you want to bring him in to help the offense a little bit? What was the point of bringing Tank Bigsby in from the Jaguars if you're not going to utilize him? I bet you the Jaguars are really regretting giving that one up now. They're like, man, we agreed to trade Tank Bigsby and you're not even going to use him? Man, give him back to us. We could use him. And I bet you Tank Bigsby probably wishes he was sent back to Jacksonville at this point. He's probably like, oh man, I came to Philly with the chance to win a ring, and this is what I'm getting instead. Now he's going through what DeAndre Swift went through 2 years ago. I mean, Jesus fucking Christ with this team, though. I mean, we're fresh off a Super Bowl win, but I mean, we can't just rely on talent alone to bail us out. I think that's the problem. Kevin Patullo thinks that the talent alone on offense is good enough. He thinks that Saquon, AJ, Smitty, Goddard's good enough, and that they can just make the plays happen all on their own. But we know it don't work that way. We know it don't work that way. We know that ultimately at some point, the rest of the team has to step up and do something too. And ultimately, but they got to do more. You can't just rely on the play calls alone because it's with the one-dimensional offense, defenses have picked up on it. They know anytime it's a pass play, there's 3 people to look out. What is that, an offside on 3rd and 5 at the 2-minute warp? This fucking team, bro. Way to go. First down. At this point, just give them to them already. Just let them score. End it there, all right? This is just absolutely ridiculous with this Eagles team. I mean, for fuck's sake. The Eagles got nothing going on. Oh, wait, it's actually 3rd and 1. It's not going to matter. Oh, wait, Eagles stopped them. All right. Blankenship. Carter was that? Got in there. All right, got to stop. But it's still 4th down, and Bears just going to kill the clock anyway, so it's not going to... I mean, I got to say this about the Bears. I mean, I'll give the Bears credit right now. Congrats to the Chicago Bears. They did what they needed to do. Give credit to Ben Johnson. He's done a nice job turning this team around. Say what you want to say about the Bears. You can call them overrated if you want to. Say they're just an average team with a soft schedule. And, okay, maybe the softer schedule has played a role in it. But at the same time, I give this team credit. They've won 7 of their last 8, about to be 8 of their last 9, in just about a minute or so. But yeah, they turned it around. Ben Johnson's got this offense going. You've seen Caleb Williams play better. So at least he's making improvement from year one. He's throwing, he's not making as many careless mistakes. DeAndre Swift has been solid in the run game. Their defense is improving on its own. And ultimately, look, they've won 8 of 9, and they're in first place in the NFC North. So I got to give the Chicago Bears credit. They keep finding ways to win games. They got a solid crew and a good coach that's managed to turn the ship around and make them a good team. And they got to get the most out of this team. So I'm going to give Ben Johnson credit. And I got to say, the Detroit Lions are certainly missing Ben Johnson. Now you start to look at it now, you see the Lions this year, they're not as strong as they usually are. They're not, they're at the 8 seed right now, possibly missing the playoffs with a winning record. And incomplete pass on 4th and 4. Eagles will get the ball back, but either way, I give the Bears, as I was saying, give the Bears credit. This is a team that's made a nice turnaround. They got some talent there. They're making the most of it. DJ Moore's been a solid option. Uzdoon has been solid for them. They found their way. And the Eagles, they got a lot of talent, but they're not utilizing it. They're not. This is what happens when you let talent get in the way. But at some point in time, they got to go back to the drawing board. This play calling is absolutely ludicrous. Jalen Hurts, it's the same predictable routine. They use Jalen Hurts as a pocket passer. That's not who he is as a quarterback. Their offensive line isn't blocking for him, which being that the offensive line isn't as good and Hurts is getting pressured again, but now he's going to take off and run. He's going to go out of bounds, and there's a flag. Wait a minute. Oh, that's another. Let me guess. Is this going to be against the Eagles? Of course it is. It's against Steen. Holding. Never mind. That's another problem, this offensive line. They can't block, and anytime they do get a block, there's about a 50% chance it's going to be called back due to holding. It's going to get called back due to holding. And that's another thing. Anytime the Eagles make a big play, in the back of my mind, I'm like, is it going to get undone? Is it going to get undone? Is there going to be a penalty? There's always that thought running through the back of my head anytime they do make a key play, because I'm thinking, wait, this might get called back. And that's what just happened. A first down called back due to a holding. 104 left. 1st and 20. Eagles at their own 20. Here comes the pressure again. Hurts just chucks it. And did AJ catch it, or is that an incomplete pass? Oh, wait, it's a catch. 2nd and short, but the clock's ticking. Tick, tick, tick. Wait. Oh, wait, it's a catch. Eagles get off a quick play. 2nd and 2. Hurts throws to the middle. It's caught by Goddard. He gets to the Bears 40, but again, the clock ticks. There's not a lot of time left. And the Eagles got no timeouts. Better hurry it up, and Hurts spikes it with 24 seconds left. Eagles still got to go 40 yards, and they got to get a 2-point conversion just to potentially tie. Now, if the Eagles do end up pulling this off, I'm going to have to change the title of this stream after it goes off. But I don't think it's going to happen. It's still a long shot. I'm just saying, if it does somehow miraculously, the Eagles do take this to overtime and somehow win, I might have to change the title, edit the title of this. But what is this? 2nd and 10 up the middle with no timeouts? What the fuck are you doing? This is what the Cowboys did against the 49ers in that 2021 wildcard game. And now you had to spike it on 3rd down. Bro, now it's 4th and 4 with 13 seconds left. Seriously. This team doesn't deserve it, all right? They don't. At this point, just get this 4th down play over with and just end this game. This is what the fuck are they sending Elliott in? Are you serious? A 52-yard attack? You need an onside kick, you idiot! Seriously, you're not even going to try to go for it? You spineless weasel, and he misses to the left. You know what? That's what they get for making such a ridiculous play call, not even having the guts to go for it. There you go. 9 seconds left. All the Bears got to do is step on the field and take a knee, and the game's over. And by the way, as far as Lil G Griffith's comment earlier saying the Eagles need the secondary defensive end, guard, safety, DB, you know what else we need? I think we need a new kicker too, honestly. I feel like Jake Elliott's ran his course. Let's face it, because we went through this last year, remember? Then all of a sudden we won the Super Bowl and we forgot about the fact Jake Elliott struggled last year because of the Super Bowl win, because of how great Saquon was, because of how phenomenal the defense did, and how they got better as the season went along. We forgot all about Jake Elliott's shortcomings as a kicker. But now, you're not playing as great as you did last year. It's becoming more evident Jake Elliott's part of the problem and not part of the solution. So you got to mention that too. Jake Elliott's been inefficient all season long. He had a missed field goal last week that would have changed the score of that game, maybe sent it to overtime, or maybe won it. Who knows? But Jake Elliott missed a potential field goal that could have been 24-24. He missed an extra point wide to the left, and he missed a field goal late to the left. And I don't understand what this is, and that's pretty much, let's be real, that field goal was basically surrender right there. Surrender. The Eagles basically surrendered by kicking a field goal, basically admitting that they didn't have confidence in the offense to convert. They didn't. They had no confidence whatsoever. None. And hold on, I'm going to start a poll right now. All right, I'm going to start a poll right now. There's the poll question on the screen. Will the Eagles win the division? Pretty straightforward yes or no question. Me at this point, I doubt it. I don't think the Eagles are going to win the division at this rate. Yes, we are 8-4 and we're still 2 games ahead in first place at the moment. And I still see the rest of our schedule. I'm looking. We got the Chargers next week on Monday night. I'm not confident in that win, especially the way we struggled to stop the Bears in the run game. Going against the Chargers, who are an excellent team running the ball, I don't trust that right there. And plus our secondary, I don't trust our secondary going against a team quarterbacked by Justin Herbert. That's probably 8-5 right there. Then you got the Raiders after that. That should be a win. That should be. So that would move you up to 9-5 if that happens. Then you get Washington. Okay, I could see that being 10-5, possibly. So you maybe get 2 wins there. But then you play Buffalo. I mean, that's a weird matchup now, that week 17, because both teams are underachieving. But I don't trust the Eagles against Josh Allen either. That could probably be a loss. And then maybe Washington week 17, maybe that's a win. So, okay, I could maybe see us winning some games down. A few games, maybe 10, 11 wins. Maybe it's still possible. But I'm not even sure at this point. And then you got the Lions. Like I said, the Cowboys, I look at their schedule. They got the Lions next week. Don't be surprised if the Cowboys win that game. I mean, against Kansas City yesterday, they looked like a solid unit. And Dak played really good on offense. And they go against the Lions defense, who struggled against Jordan Love yesterday. Jordan Love threw 4 touchdowns and absolutely decimated that Lions battered secondary. So I could see Dak doing the same, probably being a win there, move the Cowboys up to 7 wins. And like I said, Vikings, Giants, Commanders rematches, those look like wins right there. I don't see this really working out in favor for the Cowboys at all. Or for the Eagles. I could see the Cowboys winning it out. I could see them winning games. I mean, we'll still have to wait and see how it plays out. And the Eagles, like I said, they could maybe win a few of those games. There are the two Washington and Raiders games. Those look winnable on the schedule. So the Eagles might still win enough games. But I'll say this, if the Eagles don't win the NFC East, they're probably going to miss the playoffs. That's the difference between a possible collapse this year versus 2 years ago. 2 years ago, last time they collapsed, the NFC was a relatively weaker conference. So it was still manageable to make the playoffs as a wild card, which they did. But flash forward 2 seasons later, Eagles have lost two straight, kind of similar to what happened later in the season 2 seasons ago. Guess what? The NFC is a lot stronger. The odds of making the playoffs as a wild card, if you collapse and the Cowboys went out, it ain't going to happen like that. If this happens, of course. This is obviously a what-if scenario. But the point I'm getting at is, if the Eagles want to make the playoffs and avoid collapsing and missing out, they have to win the division this go around. The Eagles can't afford to collapse and still make it as a wild card. No, they got to win the NFC East because that NFC conference is real strong. You got the Rams home field, most likely. You got Eagles, now the 3 seed. Bears move up to the 2 seed because they got the win. They're 9-3. So Bears are likely winning that division. Either them or the Packers. But the Bears still got to play the Packers, though, too. So we'll see how that plays out. But it's either probably going to be them. Eagles, still the favorites to win the division, but with the way they're playing, who knows? And then you would have the 4 seed would be either the Bucks or Panthers. Maybe the Bucks, but then after that, you got 5, 6, and 7 wild card. That's looking like it's going to be either Seahawks, probably the 5 seed, unless they win out and the Rams take a few losses. But it's probably going to be the Seahawks. Then 6, you're talking Packers. And then 7, you got the 49ers. I mean, unless the 49ers collapse late in the season and Eagles win just enough games without winning the division, then the Eagles would get the 7th seed. But, well, still, you got to actually... The Cowboys would still have to actually win out all these games, though, too. I mean, you never know sometimes. I mean, you never know, but this is just all speculation. I mean, who knows what happens? Maybe the Giants with Jackson Dart get an upset over the Cowboys and they end up getting a win there. Maybe the Lions surprise everyone to have a nice turnaround and beat the Cowboys. Who knows? I mean, anything could happen, but realistically, I would not be surprised if ultimately the Philadelphia Eagles lose out. But here, give me 1 minute. I'm just going to mute the mic. I'll be back, talk to you guys in a sec. All right, I'm back with you guys. But the point of what I was getting at, I was kind of rambling on a little bit about different playoff scenarios. But the point I was getting at through all those like 4 or 5 different scenarios I was teasing is anything could happen. I mean, it's still open. The playoffs have not been clinched yet. It's not even December yet. It's still Black Friday after Thanksgiving. It's like the first day, getting into the Christmas spirit for some people. Some people probably already got the head start, but the point I'm getting at is it's not even December yet. So we still got to wait and see what's going on. So we got to wait, and so we're still got to go through a whole month of December. Who knows? But there's a lot of different possibilities, though. But the way the Eagles played the last 2 games, they're not playing like a team that deserves to go to the playoffs. And it's looking like it's a doubtful December for the Philadelphia Eagles. And we kind of saw the writing on the wall. And for those who think, oh, the Eagles can't collapse, it can't happen twice. Yeah, it can. And you saw today, the defense didn't stand up as strong. The defense, they didn't play as great. They struggle. They couldn't stop the run. It's not the same. So obviously, this whole team, they've been playing they've been playing in the dumps. They have been. They've been a dumpster fire the past couple weeks. So for the Eagles, man, we just got to wait and see what happens from here. They got to do something different. I mean, you got to get on everyone in this case. Jalen Hurts, all of them. They got to do something different. And with the NFC, though, looking back on it now, it's like, yes, we did get the 2 wins off the bye week. We did get the win over the Lions, but let's be honest, the Lions aren't that good of a team this year as they usually are. So I don't mean to take credit away from the Eagles for winning against the Lions, but if you look at the way we played, it wasn't that great of a win. And yes, we did get a win over the Packers, but that was where our defense was just lights out phenomenal. Now, here we are after weeks of this defense carrying this team. It's not working anymore. It's not working. So the way the defense was, I mean, even last week against the Cowboys, the Eagles defense did its best it could. They got 2 4th-down stops. They got a takeaway. But eventually, having to carry the load due to a crappy offense finally caught up to them. And you can't rely on your defense to bail you out forever because we didn't have the same strong performances we had against the Packers and against the Lions. But to be fair, some of those teams are down. The Packers specifically, I mean, let's be honest. Jordan Love, he's just kind of a streaky quarterback. I mean, he had an excellent game yesterday for the Packers against the Lions defense, but they didn't really have a lot going. You saw when we played them, Jalen Phillips was able to make a difference, get to the quarterback. Jordan Love struggled in that game. But that could also be a factors of the weather, too, because it was cold, frozen, freezing weather down in Green Bay. Yesterday, Lions and Packers were in a dome. It was a lot easier for the offenses to move the ball, particularly for the quarterbacks to throw. So that plays a factor, too. How does the Eagles adjust? I mean, and to be fair, Saquon, I mean, he did have a few decent runs in this game. I still understand with Kevin Patullo, why not do the RPOs? Get Hurts out of the pocket. Run some RPOs with him. Do some screen passes. Do some options. Something. Stop trying to force Jalen Hurts to be a pocket passer. Not to mention, you're trying to force him to be a pocket passer in a situation where your offensive line is crap. You're not going to get that out of him. Try to run some pitches to the outside. Do something different. I mean, stop trying to force the run up the middle where your defense is ready for Saquon. If you run up the middle, guess what? They're ready for Saquon. If you run it on the outside with him or even Tank Bigsby, you could catch the defense off guard a little bit and have a shot at a more successful play. But ultimately, they don't do that. They just run the same type of plays that have already been stopped over and over and over again, expect a different outcome. They're expecting Jalen Hurts to throw when he's being pressured. That don't work out. That don't work out. So exactly. It's obvious like this is a whole lot of problems going on this offense, and it's starting to get exposed more and more. And it's the offense too. Forget the defense. It's the the defense, it wasn't perfect, but it's mostly the offense. And it's having a domino effect, too. Like I talked about that domino effect. The defense gets worn out. You're seeing it. But at this point, you got to fire Kevin Patullo. Seriously. I understand it was his first year calling plays, but Jesus Christ, man. And here's something else, too, we got to talk about. Sirianni he has his hand way too much involved in play calling. Remember last year, early in the season, with Kellen Moore, Sirianni had his hand involved in the play calling, and it wasn't working out that great. Flash forward now to this year. It's a little different. This year, Sirianni, he doesn't have Kellen Moore there to keep everything in check. It's him and Kevin Patullo, and it's not working out. It's not. It's a train wreck. It's completely dysfunctional with those two. So I got to also point the finger of blame at Sirianni to some degree too, not just Kevin Patullo. Because we've seen. Look, I don't want Sirianni calling plays either, because really, he's not the best fit. Kellen Moore had a big influence last year in the changing of the play calling. Because remember early in the season, it looked like Sirianni was calling the plays and they were struggling. It wasn't until post-bye week the Eagles all right, let's gear more to the run. Let Kellen Moore, who has more experience calling plays, take control. And everything got better. But this year, they're stuck. Absolutely stuck with Kellen. They're stuck. Kellen Moore is no longer there. You're stuck with Kevin Patullo, who's never called plays, and Nick Sirianni. And all Patullo's doing is just whatever Sirianni says. He doesn't have, he's just been Sirianni's right-hand man the entire time. So I feel like Sirianni plays a key role in this as well. It's not just Kevin Patullo. And it's a shame because you have a lot of talent there on both sides of the ball, and you're wasting it away. And dare I mention, shout out to Jalex Hunt, too. He's starting to come along on defense, too. Last thing you want to do is waste some of his early years. And sadly, it looks like this great defense is being wasted. So I'm not going to say anything else, really. Except they got to get it together. This team, I don't know, the players need to have a players-only meeting or something. They need to figure something out. Just something to boost this team's morale, get it going, something. Because the shit they're doing now ain't going to cut it. It just ain't going to do it. I'm running out of thoughts to say right now, man. Something's got to change, though. The play calling, specifically, it's got to change. Because if not, this team's going to get destroyed late down the stretch. So I'll leave it at that, man. There's not much else I want to say. Except, guys, thanks for tuning in. I hope you're having a great Black Friday. And I'll say this. I mean, you know what? Actually, while we're still here, I do want to say this because the NFC, I mean, the playoff picture, it's a lot more open. It's a lot more fun this go around than it's been in the past. I will say that. So the NFC playoff picture is actually pretty fun this year. I mean, it's a loaded conference, but that's where the Eagles got to adjust. So I'd say, look, man, try to bring in a competent offensive mind. Someone that knows how to call plays, not just some hack who just runs the ball, who just does, not just a hack who runs the same basic plays all the time. Something's got to change. So, but yeah, as far as, but for some of these other teams, man, as far as like this week goes so far, man, it's been an interesting week thus far. We've seen the Baltimore Ravens get embarrassed last night. The Cincinnati Bengals, I don't know what the hell it is with Lamar Jackson's performance. Seriously. Now I get the Bengals offense coming into its own with Joe Burrow, but the Bengals defense not being a train wreck and the Ravens offense just being a complete dumpster fire against the Bengals defense, I don't get that one bit. Really, I don't. How all of a sudden are the Cincinnati Bengals defense capable of stopping the Ravens? And Lamar Jackson clearly had an off day yesterday, to say the least. A terrible performance by Lamar. And just all around stupidity on that front. And with the Cowboys winning, like I already said, they could win. But I also got to point out Kansas City. I think the Super Bowl losers curse is starting to catch up to them. But not just the Super Bowl losers curse. You know what else it might be too? It might also be the fact that, you know, they've been relying on Mahomes way too much. They've been relying on the same players, Mahomes and Kelsey, the entire time. And it's catching up to them. They don't have much else to work with. And they tried bringing Kareem Hunt back, and he's been solid at times, but this isn't the same Kareem Hunt as it was at his peak. I mean, Kansas City might need to try to make a few trades, get some draft picks, honestly, at this point, try to get back into contention. I mean, I don't know, maybe what you guys think, but maybe they try trading a few picks, try getting back into contention, because they really didn't look that. They haven't looked that great. I mean, they've been trying their best, but Mahomes can't carry this team on his own anymore. They need some playmakers, and clearly Juju Smith-Schuster isn't doing it. Rashid Rice was solid, but not good enough, and their defense needs to get better. I mean, Trent McDuffie yesterday, I don't know what was with him. Trent McDuffie just did not. Oh, he clearly did not wasn't it. He had 2 PIs yesterday, and he was bad for them. But Kansas City needs to find some more players. They can't just rely on Patrick Mahomes to carry that team anymore. And for the Packers, look, their defense has been excellent all season long. Micah Parsons has been the difference maker they need. And you see they've even been better this season with Parsons. Now, for the Lions, I'll say this. I'll say this for the Lions. For the Lions, the biggest issue is injuries. Injuries have been the biggest problem for them. Injuries, you can see, well, yesterday, their secondary struggled. No Kirby Joseph. They lost Amon St. Brown yesterday in the game, and that affected their offense. Jameson Williams tried picking up the slack, but it just wasn't the same offense. So you see that injuries have kind of caught up to the Lions a little bit. Plus, the NFC being a tougher conference has played a role in it as well. The Vikings, they need a quarterback going forward for the long term. And the Chicago Bears, all it took was a change at head coach, too. And now you see what this team can really do. And that's what we've gotten so far with Week 13. We've mostly seen It's official. Kansas City, they're just not the same team they once were. They're not. They're not that same team. And they might end up being the team in the AFC that misses out. I know you say you can never count out Mahomes, but in this case, the way it's been going lately, it's not looking too great for Kansas City. So you have that right there. A. B, like I said, the AFC, and that pretty much said what I was going to say. So those are most of the main talks about the teams. I'll probably get back to it more on Sunday morning show. I'll be on the Sunday morning show on the Hardcore Sports Network with Mitch, Fincy, and company. We'll talk about it more there. So with that being said, that's all I got for you guys for now. Until next time, it's your boy Nicky Stee signing off. Have a great Black Friday. Still going to support the Birds, win or lose. I'll catch y'all soon. Peace.